Well, it's not long to go until fight night now. When you first got the call from Graham to do this, what was your initial reaction? Did you try and wiggle out of it, or were you keen straight away?
Do you know, I had a bit of a heads up from Matt Murray, so I had a bit of a time to think. He said that Stack is going to give you a call, and I kind of had an idea what it might be about. So normally I wouldn't do it, to be honest, like that, but known Stacky for a long time, love Stacky. Obviously doing it for a great cause as well, and it gives you something to sort of focus on and experience something new.
It got mentioned at the press conference, your background in jiu-jitsu, you've done a bit of MMA as well. How much of a helping hand do you think that could be going into fight night?
It's going to be our first time for all of us of going into a boxing ring, so I don't really think it's going to help too much. I think speaking to Bradley, it's the occasion and the nerves of going into a boxing ring is going to sort of affect us all in different ways, and it's just going to be interesting to see how all of us deal with that, because it's a completely sort of new experience for us.
If things are going a bit downhill and not your way, you're going to pull out some of your jiu-jitsu moves?
I'm not sure that's legal, or I might not even have the chance to. But I leave them at the door when I walk in.
In terms of the training itself, obviously very different to football training. I suppose you have a bit of an insight coming from jiu-jitsu and MMA as to what is required for boxing training. But how different is it, and how much are you enjoying it, or what are you disliking about the training when it comes to boxing?
I love trainings. That's always been my sort of. I love training when I was playing, so it's nothing I'm really not looking forward to be honest. It's nice to learn new arts and stuff like that. And I think since I finished football, it's kind of been a bit of a hobby to learn new things and disciplines. I think if I have to do too much conditioning, that might bother me a little bit, but I'm hoping to do as much as I need to do and try to box as much as possible.
Of course, training regardless is great, but this brings a real structure and regimented routine back into life. How much are you relishing that?
Yeah, I'm quite a structured person and routine person in general, so it doesn't change too much in my life. It just gives me something to really focus on, and that's the thing that I'm looking forward to more than anything, is kind of focus on something for a cause. I think if you asked me to do a white collar for no reason, I just would never do it, really, like that. But when it's got a cause attached to it, that's when it sort of starts to get my interest to go in and to have a new experience in life. I done the London Marathon last year for the Birmingham Children's Hospital, and someone asked me to do a marathon. I'd never do it, but when they said do it for a children's hospital and sort of there's a bit of a cause behind it, that's why it was my inspiration to do it. So that's it. That's my insight behind doing it.
You just mentioned the fact in training you're not so keen on the conditioning, but then you just said that you run a marathon.
Well, I had no choice in the end, because I had a friend who asked me to do the marathon for the London Marathon last year, and I thought he was joking. And so about a month or two later, it turns out he wasn't joking, and he signed me up. And then when I started to speak to people who run, they told me how hard it was to get in the marathon. And then we had loads of meetings with the Children's Hospital, so I had no choice in the end, like that. So I don't know if I'll be running one anytime soon, but that was that might be my one and only marathon.
What sort of style do you think we'll see you bring to the ring on fight night?
I'm not too sure what style it is. Probably need to use my height advantage, as everyone says. Probably try to start the way I think that Bradley's going to throw. Hitting, not get hit. I think that's the cue of the sport, isn't it? So that's why I am going in the ring.
Yeah, it's going around a lot today. Yeah. People saying that. Look, you've fought your biggest fight outside of the ring, off the pitch. You've been through something that people should never have to go through. Does that change your perspective on fear, kind of going into a boxing ring that you've already had the biggest fight of your life?
Yeah, I think there's an element of me that has sort of been in dark places that maybe some people might not have ever experienced. So there's always that element of why I wouldn't say no to doing something, because I've overcome harder things in my life in this perspective of it all. But at the same time, it's a new experience anyway. So I think there's always no's when you're doing something new. And I suppose that's the thrill of it, really, of doing something new. And maybe my struggle in life has made me more open to do things that would take me out of my comfort zone, because ultimately you grow from it. So yeah, I think my experience and my battles with leukemia have definitely affected my decision making of doing this, in a sense.
Do you think just even getting into the ring on fight night is a win for you because of everything that you've gone through previously, that it's showing that, hey, look, I'm able to get back in and do competitive sport in this nature?
It just, I suppose, it just gives you a little bit of an edge, or just an outlook to try new things, and like life's not over. It's a 10-week or so camp, as you would say, and it's more of a thing for myself, my family to look at, to be like, to my kids to look at and think that, well, Dad done that, like, why he just chucked himself into it, like, well, why shouldn't I chuck myself into things and have a go? So I think that's the main thing, really, when I look at example to my kids, and I suppose other people that have maybe been in my shoes, is that to have a go at something, maybe you can come out the other side healthier, with more experience in life, and a new perspective in life as well. So I think that's what the event hopefully will give me, and I think that's why I signed up for it.
You spoke about family there. What is your family's feelings on watching you going into the ring?
I think when I said I was doing it, it's just like, why do you have to do something else? Like, that you've put us through enough anyway. But I think they kind of know my personality. They know that I need to do something in my own mind at times. They know that I try to. You can never do enough for charity, but I try to do things when I can do it. So I think they understand, even if they don't quite understand.
Adam mentioned that goalkeepers are slightly crazy, in his words. I would take away from goalkeepers about the pressure that comes with being that last line of defence as such. Do you think that gives you a unique perspective going into fight night, dealing with the pressure?
I'd like more reporters like you actually think that actually they're not crazy, they can handle pressure. But I think we were all used to pressure. All the lads have had their pressure in relative positions. It's just, I suppose, we've had different responsibilities on the pitch, and it's quite interesting, to be honest, because as you go through the different positions, you will see different personalities. Like, defenders are generally more conservative, while the strikers are a little bit more sort of flamboyant and carefree, in a sense, like in that. But we all have had different pressures in our positions. Obviously, goalkeepers are the ultimate end line, so it does take a different sort of mentality to play there. But we all have had different pressures in different aspects.
You've been face to face with Brad today. Getting a little look at the height, the reach, sizing him up.
Yeah, sizing him up a little bit. It's quite weird to stand there and look at him, because it was like, what am I looking for in your eyes, stuff like that? Because it's not like it's not anything. It's not like a grudge match, or like, it's not like anything too serious. Obviously, we both are going to want to win the fight, but we're not trying to find weakness in each other. So it was just a bit fascinating, I suppose, to like the boxing and the fighting world, really, to sort of see what they would go through in their build up to the fights.
Matt has been saying a lot about his ring walk, and that's the thing that's been playing on his mind. What have you been focusing on or thinking about in regards to fight night itself?
I think the main one is like how you deal with the occasion. I think that's the main one. I'd be lying if I said I ain't thought about my ring walk music. Yeah, I've thought about it a few times. Still haven't decided. But yeah, I think the music and the ring walk is something that I do think about. And then I suppose it's just the occasion, how you would deal with the occasion.
You haven't picked your ring walk music, but what sort of vibe are you going for? Are you going for slow and dramatic, or energetic and lively?
I keep swaying. Do you go for a crowd pleaser, or do you go for something meaningful? Do you go for something that keeps you a little bit more relaxed? I kind of keep changing, to be honest. But I'm starting to write songs down that I'd like, and I suppose make a decision in the next week or so. Or I don't know how long I've got left.
Look, well, not long to go until fight night. We're asking everyone to look into that camera and give their opponent a message before fight night. So a message to Brad before the fight.
Bradley, I'm looking forward to seeing you on fight night. Let's have a good night and raise loads of money for charity.